You think the gold rush is over, but the real panic is just beginning right now. While you were watching the stock market, China quietly drained the world's silver vaults to absolute zero. Now the United States is facing a shortage that could freeze the entire economy tomorrow. The paper game is totally over, and the physical reality has finally arrived at your door. If you want to stay ahead of the collapse, you need the right information immediately. Subscribe to the Bullion Ledger and turn on notifications so you never miss a truth bomb. The world changed forever on the first day of January in the year 2026. That was the day China officially slammed the door shut on all silver exports. They decided to keep every single ounce of their metal for their own people. This was not an accident or some random fluctuation in the stock market charts. It was a calculated move to strangle the supply chains of the entire Western world. For years, China has been the world's factory, but now they are the world's vault. We can see the evidence of this plan clearly in the Shanghai warehouse data. In late 2025, their stockpiles dropped to a terrifying 39 million ounces of silver. That is only enough silver to last the whole world for a few weeks. The speed of this drain caught almost every Western analyst by total surprise. It was like watching water drain out of a bathtub in mere seconds. The vaults that were once full of bars are now gathering dust and cobwebs. You might wonder why a country would hoard so much of this gray metal. It is not because they want to make more coins or fancy silver jewelry. The answer lies in the strategic control of the most important resource on Earth. China saw the writing on the wall long before the rest of the world did. They understood that physical possession of the metal is the only thing that matters. Now they have the metal, and the rest of the world has nothing but paper. The real reason for this hoarding lies in the solar panels on your neighbor's roof. China currently produces over 80% of the solar panels used around the entire planet. They have a total monopoly on the green energy that the West desperately wants. Every single one of those panels needs pure silver to work and create electricity. It is the single best conductor of electricity found anywhere on the periodic table. Without silver, the green energy revolution stops dead in its tracks right now. You cannot simply swap silver for copper or aluminum in these high-tech panels. Silver has unique chemical properties that allow the panels to be efficient and powerful. If you take away the silver, the efficiency drops and the panel becomes useless. The demand from these massive solar factories is eating the global supply alive today. In 2024 alone, half of all new solar capacity was installed inside China. They know that whoever controls the silver controls the future of all energy. This insatiable hunger has created a massive structural deficit in the global market. The world burns through much more silver than miners can dig out of the ground. We have been running on empty tanks for 5 straight years without stopping. It is not just solar panels that are swallowing up all the silver supply. Your smartphone and your laptop computer require this metal to function properly. Even the electric switch in your wall needs silver to turn on the lights. The modern world is built on a foundation of silver that is quickly disappearing. We have treated this precious metal like it is cheap and endless for decades. Now we are waking up to the reality that it is rare and essential. Mines are getting deeper, and the ore grades are getting much poorer every year. It takes more money and more energy to get the same amount of metal. This is a recipe for a supply crunch that will shock the world. This shortage has created a very strange and dangerous situation in the financial markets. There are now 2 different prices for the exact same metal in the world. This is what experts call a structural fracture in the global financial system. In New York, traders buy and sell paper contracts for silver every single day. But in Shanghai, people are paying huge amounts of cash for the real thing. The difference between these 2 prices has hit a massive $26. That means silver in China is $26 more expensive than it is in America. This is a massive warning sign that the system is totally broken down. It means the paper price you see in America is not the real price. Smart traders are trying to buy the metal cheap in the Western markets. Then they ship it east to sell it for a huge guaranteed profit. This arbitrage is draining the last remaining silver out of American and British vaults. The metal leaves the vaults in London and New York forever. It travels across the ocean to disappear into Chinese factories. Once it is gone, it will never come back to our shores. This process acts like a giant vacuum cleaner for wealth in the West. We are essentially selling our family silver for pennies on the dollar. The West is losing its strategic stockpiles to make a quick buck. This is a tragedy that will hurt our industries for decades to come. The vaults are emptying and nobody in charge is stopping the flow. We are giving our rival the exact tools they need to defeat us. Traders do not care about the long-term security of the nation. They only see the immediate profit they can make on the spread. This greed is accelerating the collapse of the American technology sector. The biggest victim of this crisis is the COMEX exchange in New York City. This is the exchange where big banks trade silver futures contracts for profit. But these contracts are mostly just bets on the price direction of the metal. For every ounce of real silver, there are hundreds of paper claims existing. It works fine as long as nobody asks for the actual metal bars. But now, everyone wants the metal, and the COMEX is running completely dry. The vaults in New York are bleeding silver at a pace never seen before. Investors are losing faith in the paper promises of the banking system. They are demanding physical delivery of their metal, and the exchange cannot keep up. This is the classic run on the bank scenario, but with precious metals. Once the confidence is gone, the entire paper scheme will collapse in a day. We are watching the slow death of the paper silver market in real time. Reports show that JP Morgan is sitting on a massive short position today. That means they bet billions of dollars that the price would go down. But the price is exploding, and their bet is now deep underwater. They are trapped in a position that gets worse with every dollar the price rises. If the price breaks much higher, they will face a massive margin call. They will have to buy back millions of ounces that simply do not exist. This could trigger a delivery default that bankrupts the entire exchange overnight. A short squeeze of this magnitude has never happened in the history of silver. It would send the price of silver to levels nobody has ever imagined. The bank is fighting for its life to keep the paper price suppressed, but they are fighting against the laws of supply and demand, which always win. The physical market is squeezing the paper market until it finally breaks apart. We are entering a new era of resource warfare between the East and West. Silver is no longer just a shiny metal used for coins and jewelry. It has been added to the critical minerals list for a very good reason. You cannot build a modern cruise missile or a fighter jet without silver. You cannot build a server for artificial intelligence without this precious metal. China knows this, and they are using silver as a geopolitical weapon. By cutting off the supply, they can slow down the military advancement of rivals. They can choke the production of high-tech goods in the United States and Europe. This is a silent war that is being fought in mines and vaults. The West has spent years focusing on software while China focused on hard resources. Now we are seeing which strategy holds the true power in the world. You cannot download a silver bar from the internet when you need it. The United States is now in a very dangerous position regarding its future. We rely on imports for almost all of our industrial silver needs. If those ships stop coming, our tech industry will starve and shut down. Imagine a world where you cannot buy a new phone or a computer. Imagine a world where the production of cars and medical devices halts. This is the reality we face if we cannot secure a supply of silver. The strategic stockpiles of the government were sold off many decades ago. We have no buffer to protect us from this sudden supply shock. We are completely exposed to the decisions made by the government in Beijing. This is the end of cheap electronics and cheap energy for everyone. The true value of silver is finally being discovered by the market. The Bullion ledger is closed, and the physical holders have clearly won the game. The paper game is over, and the physical reality has arrived at our door. We are about to witness the greatest transfer of wealth in human history. Those who hold the physical metal will set the price for the world. The people who trusted the paper contracts will be left with absolutely nothing. The panic buying has already started in the East and will hit the West. You do not want to be the last person trying to find a chair. Silver will not just protect your wealth, it will multiply your purchasing power. This is the opportunity of a lifetime for those who are paying attention. The window to act is closing fast as the vaults empty out. Do not wait for the news to tell you that the crisis is here. By the time they admit it, the metal will be unobtainable. You must secure your position before the rest of the herd wakes up. This content is for educational and documentary purposes only. It constitutes an analysis of historical and current financial data and does not constitute financial advice. Viewers should consult a certified financial professional before making investment decisions. The shortage is real and the clock is ticking down. If you want to survive the coming tech collapse, you need the truth. Subscribe to the Bullion Ledger and click the bell so you are ready for what comes next.